bring them to this call recording, and then have people who are doing well in those areas share. So that's really a big intention for tonight's call. Some of the things that some of you brought up that we could all use a little bit clarification on or some coaching on is fun and different ways to follow up with our challengers and our clients. Also knowing that sometimes people are just going to fall off. And no matter how good of a coach you are, people are still not going to stay consistent. So we also get to know that piece of it. But we're also going to have a few people share just their follow-up tactics, what really works for them, and how they see it working within, people reordering. And then another thing that was shared is what to post on social media and when to post it. So we're going to go through some different things within that and show you guys really how to work Instagram to what's going to make most sense for you and your personal Instagram. A couple other things is recruiting that was brought up is like bringing more distributors onto your team and having that conversation to invite them to Team Hustle and Heart or the business. So we're going to have a couple people share on that and how they're recognizing people within their client chats or just in conversation and inviting them to the business, inviting them to be a part of the movement, Team Hustle and Heart, and everything that we do and what we're up to. So if you guys have more things in addition to what I just shared, we're going to really dive into on this call now, you can actually go ahead and drop those into the chat. Actually drop them not into the call chat, DAP chat, so we have them for forever. And then that way, if we have time to also get to those things, we can hit on those on this call. And if not, they can be coached on within the chat or on next week's Get to Soup call. But cool. So really want to let's start off with a couple wins since the last time we talked. Then we will have our new teammates intro themselves, tell us a little bit about them, and then we'll get into, all of the things that I just went over. So if anyone wants to come off mute and share just a couple of wins from this past week, or a win, we can do one win until we can get to a couple people from this past week, and then we will dive into everything else.
Hello. I wasn't on last week's call, but within this last week, I got a new distributor, which was really exciting. And the way I got her was bringing her around the community and letting her really feel it in person. The chats are amazing, and that's what, got her involved. And then wanting to show up and meet everyone and do the things, getting her present with the community was what sold her on joining the business and joining the vision and everything like that. So that was super exciting.
So good. And if you guys are taking notes, which I totally 100% invite you to take notes, write down what you're learning from each person's win. So like Susan said, like what I just heard Susan say is that she brought her around to the community so she could see it and feel it in person. And in doing that, it allowed her to see for herself that she wanted to be a part of this too. So that's like a huge nugget and a huge note for you if to look at like, okay, am I bringing the amount of distributors in to my biz on my team that I want to be? And if you're newer, this is a new conversation, but this is still something you can take note of and revisit later, sooner than later, which we'll get into also. And if you're not bringing the amount of distributors that you want in, then maybe look at, am I getting them in person around the community as much as I did in the beginning, or as much as Susan got Alexis into the community in the beginning, for them to see it, feel it, taste it, know it, love it. And if there isn't things to bring them to, then what could be created to bring them around the community and see it, feel it, taste it, know it, love it. Okay, cool. So just going to invite you to all of you to really listen from the space of what is working for them as they're sharing their wins. Cool. So Susan, go ahead and popcorn someone.
I looked at Jess first, so Jess, go ahead. Oh, Julian, sorry. I think there's two Jessicas on here.
Crap. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see, a win from this week.
Or maybe something you learned, anything like that.
Well, I'm super excited about this new challenge, the Shed and Layers. So I have one person who is in the Shed and Layers challenge. So I would say that that's one of my wins. Also, my volume points are just increasing and increasing. So um, I would say that is one of my wins this week is just to continue to build and not, get down on what my points are. So I would say my win is that I have one challenger in the Shed and Layers challenge
Boom.
and to keep that momentum going and get more people in that.
Amazing. How did you get your one challenger challenge?
So my one
And what is your volume right now?
okay, so my current volume is 1,429.7.
Let's go.
So, and I just figured out that sorry, I'm sick. That since I hit soup this month, it's a little more complicated. So I have to get a little bit more volume points than the 2,500. So I have my gap to active soup is 1,663.05.
Nice.
So I got I'm really working on getting my current challengers into the Shed and Layers challenge, so getting them on those 2 extra products. I'm also in talks with getting some new people involved, just reaching out. A lot of mine right now is just like friends of friends. So my current challengers are reaching out to people and getting back to me, but I'm posting on my social media. So
Cool. So consistently posting on your social media. And
Yep.
then are you asking, so how you said friends of friends, are you asking for referrals? Like, are you saying, does your friends want to join, or are they just loving the results so much they're like, okay, my friend wants to do this?
Yeah, so I have one challenger who's like amazing. It's my best friend. So basically she is reaching out to other people saying how amazing her results are. And then in turn is getting them to message me. And I have reached out to this current challenger saying, hey, do you want to be a coach? Like, you're really amazing at this. You're talking to other people, telling them how you're getting results. Like, do you want to be a coach? And she's just not at that point right now. So I guess like I told her like, okay, like send her on over my way. So whenever this girl Alyssa is ready to become a coach, I'm here for her. But until then, if she wants to gather people around to come to me, then I'm for that.
Cool. Really good. I was going to ask you if you had that conversation with her yet. So my next question would be, or actually question slash suggestion. One, try not to sign up the people she's referring you as preferred members yet.
Right.
Because when she does become a coach, they'll be able to be hers. And keep track of how much money you're making from all of the people she's referring you.
Okay.
Because that way, at the end of this month or the couple weeks, you can say, I've made $500 from the people you've sent me.
Right.
I can keep this $500 for months to come, or you can make an extra $500.
Okay.
Cool?
Yep.
Cool. Really good. Really, really good. All right, go ahead. Actually, we don't have to popcorn. Whoever wants to come off mute and share their wins, let's do it that way. Thanks, Jess.
Thanks.
I can share. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm on my computer and I'm never on my computer, so this is different. But so definitely some wins for me. I actually have a new person on this call. My girl Emily is here. She's not even added into the DAP chat yet, and she's already on this call. She is just signed up as a preferred member, and she's going to be signing up as a coach ASAP. But she's amazing, and just reconnected with her in this past week, and she's all about it. So I'm really excited for her, and that's her little baby Josie that was on her lap. So cute, so cute. So that's definitely a win. I'm really excited for her to just be around the team and grow and yeah, I'm really excited for all the impact she's going to create. So officially welcome, Emily. Can't wait to add you in the chat soon, soon, soon. And then as far as another win, Susan, that I would consider that a win of mine as well, just because she's my second line now, Alexis. And then Katie just signed up another girl, another Emily. And then we just added another 2 from Bree, who's not on the call right now, but she just added 2 new distributors as well. So team is growing massively and really, really excited about it. So, and how we kind of went about that was, as you guys know, you Michigan folks and Columbus folks, we have Project Cleveland every Wednesday, and really just been utilizing that to plug people in and just create the vision of what the business opportunity can be, as opposed to just like being a client. You can, get results, and then you can also get results while helping other people get results. And that's what Project Cleveland is all about conveying. So really plugging in to Project Cleveland and, showing up, even if you don't have like new people there. And it's kind of like the same thing on the calls. Like even if you don't have new people showing up to Project Cleveland, or even if you don't have new people showing up on the calls, like show up as if you are, and if you do. So really just inviting my new distributors and enrolling myself in that vision and creating that kind of like culture that, you show up as if you have 10 people with you or 20 people with you, and just be the leader in that. So really just plugging people into the events, like Susan said, like just bringing them around the community, because once you get them there, it kind of just speaks for itself. So really, really excited. Team is growing.
Yes. Now, before we have Emily introduce herself real quick, and I'll kind of give you a basis of like what we want to hear from you. First of all, your daughter's name is Josie, and that's my sister's name, so I love her already. But Natalie, if you, and even Susan and Katie, if you guys could just kind of give us some stuff around how is the invite? What does that sound like or look like to invite someone to a Project Cleveland or to a call? Or what are you seeing in them to be like, okay, I should totally invite them to this? What are those things for you guys and those distinctions for you guys that is really helping to get people in the room at Project Cleveland? And then Michigan and Columbus, like this is something that we can talk about as far as creating this, and that comes after this and on a different call. But what is the things that you're looking for? How are you inviting to these events? What's the language to get people there so they can see it and all of that?
I think inviting to Project CLE, it's just about inviting everybody and just giving them the opportunity and like really speaking to the vision and speaking to like the vibes there. But then towards what we look for in a coach is like who's showing up like we show up, who's already like posting in the chats, who's already encouraging people, who talks their story, who posts on social media like we do. And then once I see that, I'm like, oh, okay, like they're already showing up how we do, so why not take the steps to further that?
I know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Susan. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say with Alexis, it was pretty easy to move her from, because we had those like launch party things that were at CLE. Instead of bringing her to a Project Cleveland first, we had those like smaller get-togethers with strictly Hustle and Heart, which I think it was easier to like ease her into like something like Project Cleveland, where we do talk about the business and everything. But with Hustle, like the smaller intimate setting of like Hustle and Heart specifically, introducing her to that community, because that's what she entered into with the challenge. I think that's what made her open to the bigger experience, like taking her to Project Cleveland and then inviting her to the business that way. So I think having more of those like strictly Hustle and Heart get-togethers would be really beneficial for girls who would eventually transition into a coach or distributor that way.
That's so good. Like really freaking good point. Thank you for sharing that. And Natalie, what were you gonna say?
So the way I word Project Cleveland, like I don't really word it as like, oh, come and check out this business opportunity and Herbalife. It's like come and hang out with a bunch of 20-somethings and just hang out and chat and feel the vibes, vibes times 1,000. Everybody's like just really happy and excited about life, and really just like inviting from that space of just like come and hang out and have a good time, as opposed to like, oh, come and join the business, because it's not what we're about at all. Obviously, like, we're just presenting the opportunity and just honestly want people to have a good time. So if you word it like that, I think people are more apt to be like, oh yeah, like I'll just go hang out, because they always look like they're having so much fun. So I invite kind of from a space of that. And then I just actually looked back on mine and Katie's conversation, because I was curious as to like, because I know we've talked about this before about kind of how I first invited her. And so she did a 15-day challenge and got amazing results, but it was before even the end of the challenge that she was like already plugging in to the community. Like, I invited her to an STS, which she came to like right away. She was just like, yeah, like, because I think that she was around the Cleveland area and she was plugging into the nutrition club. She plugged into a Project Cleveland, and then just like was like, that was it. So I feel like if you, once you plug people in and they see the vision and they're around the team, like, it's very just like contagious. Like, you just want to be around it all the time when you get like such good vibes from people. So yeah, I looked back on that, and it's just plugging people into events and plugging people into the community. So that's what has really worked for me and my team so far.
Which is really cool. We were just at an event this past week, and they had people come up to the stage and basically give steps of like how they do their business, and without asking anyone, they wrote it all down. So what's really cool is that all three of you basically just came off and said the same thing without like being prompted to. It was all about plugging into the events and getting someone to an event to feel the community and feel the culture and the growth and all of that stuff before. And they made the decisions themselves. They just said, yes, okay, this is awesome. And some of them came once, some of them came 5 times. I don't know, it was 5, but a few times before they made that decision. What's cool is that you continuously keep inviting them and letting them know that like they're welcome to come. And when they're ready to decide, right? They do. So it's really cool to see the growth from that. And again, this is something that Michigan will and others will be talking about creating this. But even as far as STS invites, what I would love, and it doesn't have to necessarily be on this call, is for those of you who feel like you do really well at getting people to events, or it shows in your business that you do well, that you're getting people to events, screenshot some of those conversations in your first initial invite for me, and then go ahead and post them in the chat. So that way we can duplicate that conversation and that invite throughout the whole org. If you could, please. Cool. All right, awesome. So Emily, we want to hear from you. If you could just come off, just let us know. Obviously, we know your name's Emily. Where you're from, how you linked up with Natalie, your results so far, and what was like the biggest trigger for you to like see the opportunity and like why you wanted to be a part of the team.
Okay, so all I have to do is unmute, right?
Yes, you're good. We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I feel like as soon as I became a mom, I'm no longer tech savvy. So here we go. But like I said, my name's Emily. I'm from Columbus. I went to college with Natalie. We played lacrosse together. And I started using the products in April. My husband just had gotten home from a year-long deployment. And I had a 6-month-old baby, so I hadn't really had a lot of time to work out or anything. So when he came home, I decided, why not give it a shot and see what happens. And I loved it. So far, I'm almost back down to my pre-pregnancy weight, which was 135. And when I started Hustle and Heart, I was at 155. I'm pretty sure. So I'm loving the products and just seeing like this whole community. I decided, fitness has always been something I like feel very strongly about, but the fact that you guys add that soul food to it, it just really like, I feel like has changed me as a person for the better. And I'm just excited to allow other people to get those results as well. So am I missing anything else?
No, we just wanted to hear like a little bit of where you're from, how you got started. So you got started on the products first. You have awesome results. You're freaking crushing it. And now you want to help people. I love the distinction of, for you, it was a big part, like the soul food piece of it. And you want to help other people be able to embrace that part too, which is huge. And it's something actually we just started incorporating, at least super intentionally, with one of our previous challenges. So really good to know that like that for you was such a determining factor of, you know, wanting to do this. So that's freaking amazing. Welcome to the team, girlfriends. Super excited for you. Cool. All right. So let's have, I think this is cool how people are sharing wins, and there's kind of some coaching off of wins. And then in addition to me giving any coaching that I am, if you feel inclined to add to the conversation, please just come off mute. But who else would like to share a win?
I'll go and share. I'm Taya, living in Madison Heights, Michigan right now. We had our first customer appreciation day at New Heights Nutrition, and it was freaking incredible. Awesome. We had like over 120 people in and out of the doors. So that was just so exciting to see and like be like, wow, I want it like this all the time, every day. And then I really loved, I think a win for the whole team, I guess for us here in Detroit, is we had our first like teamwork night, and I love that, and I love getting together with everyone and just hanging out, and like I got to learn from, like, we just get to learn from each other, we get to hang out, we just, you know, like it's fun being all together. So just one of the things, like I love spending quality time with people and getting to know people, and especially, you know, when we do get to work our businesses intentionally and learn from each other and grow from each other too. So that was a big one for me. Thought it was a lot of fun.
Yes. And I love that you guys did that. I would suggest putting a date on the calendar like every month that you're going to do that at least, or you're doing it twice. Amazeballs. You guys are way ahead of schedule. Should have known. One piece of coaching, which I guess I know you guys already know, and I voiced this to Kira, but I'm just going to say it in front of the group so we're all really aware of it, is we get to get content when we're all together, especially. Like there should be like 100 pictures taken from that night, all being together. And then that just be a like standard of, especially working social media. So for those of you who are newer to the call, it's not just like a take pictures of each other, but this is how we really show people what we do, so more people can see what we do, so they can have the opportunity to say, I want to do that too. So in getting content and getting pictures with each other, it's no matter if you have a nutrition club or you're building, whatever way you're building, it's just very important that we're constantly showing how we actually work our business, and we get to be together and we get to take pictures. And this goes for everyone. This isn't just this scenario. It's like really just operating from a place of, if I were me and I were to be working how I was working, or around the people I'm around, or having the conversations I'm having right now, or be at the spot I'm at with whoever I'm with right now, would it attract me into the business? And if the answer is yes, or into the community, or to be a client, whatever that is, if the answer is yes, take a picture of it and document it, because people are watching you and your journey, and they just want to see like what you're up to know that they can do it, or they can be a part of it, or it's something that they want to do. So really operating from that space and elevating it at all times, because I know for more than half of the people on here, that's what attracted you to being on this call and a part of the team in the first place. So just getting super intentional with that. But yes, as far as Customer Appreciation Day there, I'm so proud of you guys, and it's so cool to see just through the snaps that I saw of like the busyness of it and the reposting of all of the shakes on the pages, and new people working behind the bar, and just the community that you guys are for real growing there is so freaking cool, and just really, really proud of you guys. Okay, cool. Another win. Jill, do you want to just piggyback off that, if anything, just as far as like New Heights and club stuff goes?
Yeah, it was cool. Customer Appreciation Day, one, not only it being our first one, but having not just friends and family there. Like, there was actually not a bunch of friends and family, and it was real customers, which was really, really awesome. And people were super excited, and was definitely a way to like reignite the little fire underneath your butt. Really proud of all the girls behind the bar. Really, really, really proud. And as they're showing up, the team is showing up with them. So you guys should for sure feel so, so, so amazing. And to Jess, who's super busy, even showing up on days like those, just to be there in case we need help is also very, very, very much appreciated. One of my big wins too outside of that is my sister can't be on the call right now because she hasn't seen her kid in a while, which we're going to change that. But she's less than 200 volume points from First Cut Active Suit, which is huge because she's been in the business for a long time and has wanted it really bad. I always get emotional. But having the club and being able to have a tool for people who want it really, really bad to like plug in and work if they want to work. It's just so huge because for a long time, even myself, and I was talking to Lisa about it today, like it felt like you can be so consistent with social media and you can, obviously it pays off 1,000%, but I always knew there was something else for me. And I really definitely feel like a lot of my coaches are the same way. So having a tool where my sister now can plug into and like grow, and it's like showing up, which I prayed for. And so that's just a huge win for me. And she's about to edit because she's about to document all her slips from not grand opening, Customer Appreciation Day, but that's a huge, huge win.
Holy moly, I wish I could just hug ya. And Jen, wow. Hell to the yes. There's so many things I could take out and like coach on through that story, but one of them is, the major one is, if you want this, so there's two different dynamics really on this call. You've been around for a little bit or you're brand new, but as you get to events and you see the bigger picture and you see how people are building, you're noticing like, okay, if it can happen for that person, it can happen for me. And if it's not happening for you in the way that you would like it to, doing what you're doing now, there's a way. You just get to figure out your way. And Jill has just been relentless in making sure that she's doing everything that she could to make sure that if the way that she's utilizing right now to build her business isn't necessarily working at the capacity that she wants it to, it was working, but she knew that she could do more and help more people and reach more people. She was willing and open to find the way to make that so. And when you find the way and you know the way and then you do it, so much will walk into your life knowing that like you're ready for it. You're like, okay, I'm here. I am like, I'm doing what gets to be done to have more people in the challenge and help more people and earn more income. So that's what's showing up for her, you and your team now. So it's really special to see, because there's a lot of obviously blood, sweat, and tears that went into the making of New Heights Nutrition, but all way, way worth the while, obviously, and most of it hasn't even been tapped into yet. So really excited for you guys out of New Heights, really excited for Jen. Tell her I love her. I'll post in the chat. I'm sure we'll be seeing her recognition post very soon. So awesome. Okay, cool. So let's have one more win, and then we'll get into the intended topics, even though we kind of hit on some of them already for the rest of the call. Another win. Come on with it.
I'll go ahead.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
What's up? Tell us.
So, one of my wins this week was I was trying to get some girls like committed to like the photo shoot and everything, and then I had one girl I'd been texting for a while, and then sometimes she wouldn't like get back to me. But when I was trying to just see like, you know, how you're feeling about things and everything, I wasn't trying to be like deadlines today. I didn't want to, make her worry about that. So, and I just reached out to her and asked her, she was saying like, hey, I don't really think I deserve this photo shoot. I really don't feel like going. And I was kind of, I didn't want to be like, because she has like a lot of stuff going on. She's like busy, but I didn't want that to bring her down. I wanted to kind of show her like potential, her greatness that she did have. So I like wrote back to her and told her like, it's okay. You don't have to, follow everything to a T like every day for this whole challenge. That's not the point of it. The point is that you've, committed to yourself in the beginning. So, whatever you can do throughout this challenge to better yourself, that's like a win. That's what's going to make you deserve this photo shoot, basically. And so, like after that long text, I kind of just summarized it. She kind of wrote back and said, okay, and then made me feel a lot better. Like she said, that made me feel better. So now she's going to come to the photo shoot.
Yes. And I'm so happy. For those of you guys who didn't see it in the chat, she actually posted the conversation in the chat, which is so, so, so valuable, because I bet you out of the 15 people who are on, if you've had a challenger yet, or if not, whoever has gotten a challenger in here and is talking to them, following up with them, they've probably gotten a very similar type of response, where it might not be, I haven't earned the photo shoot, but it might just be something like something silly to where they're using it as a cop-out, but it takes sometimes standing for them and their greatness and the fact that they earned it. Because you're coming from, actually Kira and I were just kind of talking about this about someone else, but a totally different perspective than the story that they keep telling themselves. All they know is the story that they've told themselves. So when you come to them like, wait, but you actually have earned it. Like the story actually isn't perfection. The story isn't, you didn't do this, so you're not worthy. It's just showing up the best you can every day and acknowledging where you can do better and then doing better, but you've already earned it. You're already worthy of it. You just get to commit to it and be there. And that's basically what she did. So really taking that on for you guys in whatever way that comes up for your clients and your people. And I can tell you the people who have enough courage to stand for people in that way have the most people who, those people like Sarah, that girl will probably stick around for a very long time now because you decided to have that conversation with her. Now, some people, due to maybe it's a busy schedule or maybe they don't feel like dealing with it or whatever it is, might just say like, well, I don't got time for her because she's saying she doesn't want to be there. I'm just going to move on to the next person. And while if she's going to give you the same excuse for like 6 months in a row, then I would say maybe just love her from a distance, check in on her every other month or something. But because you poured into her in that way and you said, no, look, like this is what gets to happen. This is what you said you wanted. Now I guarantee you, like I said, she's going to be around for a while. She's going to be at the shoot. And we all know what happens when people get to the shoot. They taste all the senses. They know hustle and heart, and they want to be a part of what we're doing. So just inviting you guys, and I know a lot of you do this, and if anyone wants to come off and really speak to this part of it, because I know you're very good at this also, as I see you like jumping out of your chair in agreement to what I'm saying. It's very special what we get to do. And when we can look at our clients as actual humans who came to you for a literal purpose because they saw something in you that they thought they could, leverage to get whatever result that they're going to get or become whoever they're going to become. When you approach them in that way and you embrace them in that way, magical things happen. And I can tell you, not everyone's organization in Herbalife, in our organization in general, operates from that space. And that's a huge distinction of what separates us from a lot of human beings, is that we treat everyone like they're our next supervisor or president's team member at the same level of conversation, usually even higher. So I don't know if any of you want to come off, and this is where we can like really leverage and actually go into the follow-up portion of it, of what these types of conversation looks like, because I know some of you are facing, and I too face every day, where I reach out to people and they're not responding. I probably have 6 challengers right now who aren't, but at the same time, you still just love them for a distance. Engage on their Instagram page. There's a million things we can do, but I'd really like to hear from, I know Natalie's great at this, Kira's really great at this, and anyone else, you're all really great at it, but people who have done it continuously and have seen consistent results in the way you've done follow-up. I'd love to hear. So actually, let's have Kira, if you could just come off mute and just kind of walk us through what some follow-up looks like. And then as she's sharing, if you on here have gotten awesome results from doing certain types of follow-up also, and you feel inclined to share, either type it in the chat or just come off mute. Obviously, let's not interrupt one another, but come off mute if you feel inclined to share also. One more thing, if you have questions, post them in the chat as well as she's or whoever is sharing.
Hi, sorry. My buttons disappear, so I have to get off and get back on to come off. Wow, yeah, jumping out of my seat. And Sarah, so happy you shared that and so proud of you. And just to totally edify what she just said and to show you like proof in why that is so important. And first of all, I want to like really thank you guys. For those of you who are in the Detroit area, for everyone on the call, we were needing the RSVPs, and along with the RSVPs comes a $30 contribution. So I reached out to the group when we sent out the RSVPs and said, hey ladies, here's where we're at, and I want to ask you guys to take personal ownership when it comes to sending these out. Because we all know, like Kate said, the challenge does one thing. You get these girls to the photo shoot, it's another level of special. Like most people think back to before this. Did you have people in your life who truly, genuinely wanted to celebrate the heck out of you because you were doing good things for yourself? Because you were choosing to make a change that not everyone was doing? Because I sure as hell didn't. And I was like, what is this, when I walked into my first event? And it's even like more special what we've created with Hustle and Heart. So I know, because I've been at 2 photo shoots now, I know how special the feeling is when you get there. So I said to the girls, I said, you guys, it can be very easy to send out an RSVP, and this is a piece of what I wanted to share within follow-up, but it can be very easy to send out a created flyer that everyone sent and say, hey guys, RSVP, the date's December 1st, let me know. Leave it at that. That's one thing. The second thing is you can say, and kind of what Kate spoke to with like the senses, the 5 senses, when she says like speaking to them, but getting them excited. Like, I am so excited for you to be at this photo shoot with me. The theme is sweater weather. As you know, we're going to be cozy and comfy, so comfortable. We're going to celebrate the heck out of you. You'll have a mimosa when you get there, like describing, that's what she means by that, describing touch, taste, smell, how they're going to feel when they're there. I tell all my girls, like, I cannot wait to squeeze you when I see you, and I audio message them so they know how excited I am. Like, they can hear this, because I really get that excited. They can hear it in my voice. So that's another thing, is describing to the T, like Kate said, with your 5 senses, like letting them know how they're going to feel. And also, if you haven't taken on audio messaging yet, it's a big old game changer when it comes to follow-up. So that's one thing. But so I said to the girls, really, guys, take it personally to stand for their greatness. Like, don't just say if they say no while being compassionate here. Don't give in to their excuses, because everyone else in their life probably does. So if they say, no, I can't come, I have dinner that night, it's like, no problem, it's in the morning. We get to stand for their greatness as the coaches that we are. So Sarah did that, and as a result, she had this girl's now coming to the photo shoot and literally said to her, thank you so much. Like, you have no idea how much I needed this. Like, what? And like Kate said, that girl is going to stick around because she knows that we really care about her. And one of my points to share with you guys when it came to follow-up is care about people. Ask them how they're doing. Well, let me go into I have a couple points you can literally write. But before I go into that, I want to finish sharing this. So also, Taya, I know you did this with a lot of girls. She had a couple girls who were like, oh, I can't, excuse. And not that they're not valid excuses. Like, I can't find a babysitter, or like real life things. But she helped work with them to find a solution to be like, girl, you've got to get there. You've earned this. how can I help you? How can I support you in making sure you get there? So asking them what you can do. And because of this, and this is like, you want to talk about the proof in the pudding. Before we sent out any RSVPs, you guys, for our photo shoot budget, just to give you an idea, okay, it's $30 for every challenger that's coming. We had less than $200 in our budget to put on this photo shoot. I have not received any of the money or all of the money yet from some of the girls. I have not put in any yet. Our Venmo budget right now is $1,070 because we have over 50 girls who RSVP'd to the photo shoot. I know, and I could cry because, and I wanted to thank you so much, you guys, because if you didn't take that on, and if you would have said, darn, no, no, okay, sorry, you can't come to the photo shoot. Number one, we wouldn't have had a photo shoot because we wouldn't have been able to afford it to put it on for the challengers who earned it. So thank you guys so freaking much for, number one, being so damn coachable, and number two, standing for your people's greatness, because they're going to get to that photo shoot. We're going to have more than enough money to not only cover this event space, make the sweetest, most special photo shoot, and these girls are going to get there and they're going to feel another level of support and love. And what do you think is going to come out of that photo shoot? A lot of people who feel excited and supported and want to stick around, whether that be as a longtime happy client or take on the coaching opportunity, which we're going to get to share with them there, and they're going to feel the love and support that we're going to have for them. So thank you guys so freaking much. I'm pumped as hell, and I'm pumped for all of the photo shoots because we are all taking this on when it comes to following up with our clients and being those people for our coaches. So thank you so much. I'm so excited. So that's actually some of what I wanted to share when it comes to follow up, but a couple of other specific things. If you guys have a notebook, you can write it down. And I shared a little bit of it in the chats this week, but number one was put yourself in their shoes. So how would you like to be supported? And oftentimes I think when we become a coach, we like switch over to coach mode, but we forget what it was like when we were a challenger. So sometimes put yourself back in your brand new client shoes. Like, what did you need from your coach? What did your coach say to you? Or what did your coach, how did they hold for you? Like Sarah and Taya and everyone did. How did they stand for a greater version of you that made you want to stick around? And then that made you want to take on the coaching opportunity if you want to take it further. But really, like, I think we can get so caught up in like, oh my God, they didn't say yes. What do I do? And we go, what do I do? And we freeze. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, like, really read into what they're saying and ask yourself, what would I need if I was in that position and how can I speak to that? To put yourself in their shoes. Number two, act as if you're talking to a friend. Because again, we get in like coaching expectation mode. Like, we can often ask like question, but really it's just like they're just people just like us. So like if we're like, how are you feeling? And they're like crap. Well, you could be like, oh, I'm really sorry about that. I'm sorry to hear that, you know? Or you can be like, oh no, like, what's up, girlfriend? How can I support you? Act as if, remember, we're all people here. Act as if it's your friend you're talking to, but at the same time, go ahead and speak to the greatest version of them. Number three, be personal and be present and listen. And this goes for like text messaging, like follow up, but it's also really, really, really a good little asterisk side note in real life. When you're listening to somebody talk in real life, are you listening to what they're saying and asking for, or are you like, yeah, but you're really thinking about like what you're going to say after and how you're going to respond, or like what you're doing later on, or are you listening actively? So when it comes to follow up, it's the same thing. Like, focus yourself in. I have to do this all the time. Like, take a deep breath. This is what they're saying. So it can get very automatic. So really pay attention to what they're saying. And some of us might say, okay, so when it comes to being personal, don't ask them about their life. Like, ask them about their personal life. And when they do tell you something, because they will tell you like, oh, I have a daughter, her name's this. If you remember that she has a daughter and her name is this, do you think that these people think that you're listening to them? If you're like, oh, you have kids and they just told you yesterday they had a daughter named this, they're probably going to be like, oh, wow, you forgot already? So there's two things you can do in the situation of this. You can be like, I'm not really good at like remembering things, which, hey, that's me too. Number one, we get to work at it. So we get to work on our weaknesses. We get to strengthen the things we're not super great at. And number two, we get to utilize the tools that we currently have. So I'm going to send this to the DAP chat right now. But in your contacts, you guys, like when you add a contact, you can go first name, last name, blah, 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 blah. There's a notes section. So anytime I have a brand new lead come off Instagram, I'm putting their first name, their last name. I choose to put a little sprout emoji next to their thing because this is like lead. That's what that means to me. Once they get on a program, they become a leaf. Like they blossom, they're a full client. So they're a little sprout. So I'm also putting in the notes below, I normally put their Instagram like handle name just in case I need to go back and find their Instagram. And I'm also putting why they got started or what they were interested in initially. Because a lot of those people, some of those people might not decide to commit. So then when they come back and they message you again on Instagram and click on your poll and they give you your phone number and you're like, oh my God, I already have this girl on my phone. You go to your notes and it says initially interested in X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to send this so you guys can see it. But this is just an example of a girl who she's now in the 10-week Hustle and Heart Challenge, getting a sick result, feeling amazing. And if you see it, it says lead from Instagram. Her initial goals, she told me, were drop as much body fat and gain as much lean muscle as possible. Her initial interest was in our 15-day all-out challenge. That was back before Hustle and Heart was a thing. She's now in our 10-week Hustle and Heart Challenge. So that is really, really, really helpful. Number 4, Friday follow-up. So I know a lot of us do Friday follow-up. If not, this is why Friday's a good day. It's payday. A lot of people love the weekend. They're pumped. They're in a good mood. It's about to be the weekend, so they're probably in a good mood. And yeah, other reasons. So a lot of us do our follow-up on Friday. Here's the thing. Discern, first of all, for yourself around your schedule. Some of us work nights, some of us work days, some of us work full-time, part-time, some of us go to school, some of us do all of the above. So discern what's going to work for you. If you're very busy, it's going to be really important to time block a certain time to follow up with your clients. You can let them know when they can expect a follow-up text from you or when you'll be checking in with them one-on-one personally. And the other thing is, so time block, but also don't make excuses for yourself because we can all say that we're very busy, but we all have time to follow up. So my suggestion is if you can find time to follow up, not only on a Friday every week of saying, hey girl, how's your product consumption going? How did you do with your water? Like the normal kind of follow-up questions we do as coaches. And it's all like wrapped around the same thing. It's building these relationships. So for me, on Monday, sometimes I'll just reach out to my clients and say, hey girlfriend, and I'll send like an inspirational quote and just say, hey girlfriend, happy Monday. How are you? How was your weekend? That's it. I don't say one thing about Herbalife. I'm saying, how are you? P.S. If you have a lot of people who aren't responding to your million long text messages, I dare ya, go ahead and what's today? Sunday, Monday, tomorrow. Go ahead and message them tomorrow and say, hey Tanya, happy Monday. How was your weekend? Do anything fun? I bet you a lot of them respond, even though they haven't responded to the last 10 prompting messages you said. So just ask them, hey girlfriend, how are you? And Anna Barger, she's not able to be on the call, but I told her this and she took it on and she shared in the chat. She had 6 girls who weren't responding to her all respond. And now like 4 of them are also coming to the photo shoot. So saying, hey girlfriend, how are you? How was your weekend? Nothing. Then if they don't respond, number 1, you didn't waste your time sending them info they didn't want to hear because that's like annoying. It's like spammy. And number 2, again, they're like, wow, how nice of you to check in on me. And then they'll respond. And then my suggestion is, if this is somebody who hasn't responded to 10 things and then they just responded to that, and this is why Monday is good. So on Monday, they say, I'm so good. How are you? You just have a conversation, flow with the conversation. Don't say anything about products unless it comes up. Like some people will be like, I'm good. I'm running low on my tea though. Perfect. That just opened a conversation about products. But if it doesn't come up, do not bring it up. Just say, all right, girlfriend, well, what's one goal you can set for yourself to be successful this week? They give you one goal. Amazing. Look forward to your update in the chat. Have the best day ever. That's it. Then when Friday comes around, it's not spammy to go, hey, girlfriend, how'd you do on that goal you set Monday? Fill me in. And then they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Awesome. Continue the conversation. Also, don't know if you saw in the chat, we have this amazing 15-day challenge we just launched, shedding layers. And then you can go into it and it's not like, it doesn't feel, it feels really good for them. And a lot of them will be like, wow, thank you so much for thinking of me. And that's about it. But before, when I said the thing about the notes, if somebody tells you they have an exam on Tuesday, when you follow up with them on Friday, make it a point to go, how did your exam go on Tuesday? It's like a normal, it's like a really good friendship because they will truly appreciate that and that you remembered that, and people care. People love when we care about them. And then my last point, and this is something I'm working on, is and I can't remember who said this from stage, but we get to focus monthly 80% of our time. Wow, this girl just clicked. From the pudding, this girl just ordered products. 80% of the time, we get to focus on new. 20% of our time in the month goes to current clients. And we can get really wrapped up in, I want to help her. Why isn't she responding? And Kate was speaking to, we all get no's and we all get non-responses. If it's not their time, it's not their time. When you know you did the best follow-up you could, that's all you can do. You move on to new people because there are so many people out there who want our help. And truly, we're wasting our time if we keep spamming their messages when we could just put out an Instagram poll or help somebody who really wants our help and putting our attention towards new, and then following up to the best that we can throughout the month with our current people. And I think that's all that I have. Feeling so. Yep. Any questions?
Questions, or if you want to share a takeaway of something that you just learned that Kira shared with us. So freaking good. But I highly encourage those of you, if you have a question and or just tell her what you heard, what's something that you learned. So we can know where you're hearing from, so then we can also coach on that as well.
I have something from someone who's heard from Kira millions of times. Am I delaying?
A little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I've heard Kira say before to act like their friend, just be normal, like just see how they're doing. And I have definitely been someone who would start with asking how they're doing as a friend and then go right into Herbalife stuff. So even that like small bit of clarity helped 3 years in the business a lot with follow-ups. That was a huge one. And one thing I used to do from the beginning, and I did a lot better job of it as I'm like reflecting back, is just sending them inspirational quotes. I used to send them inspirational quotes every Monday. Just like, hey, happy Monday. And that's it. And I guess I assumed it was just undervalued. But I had amazing follow-up back then. So getting back to things I used to do, definitely inspirational stuff and definitely just being their friend. And one thing, and I posted it in the chat, I also got from Kira when I was like looking at one of your texts you sent to somebody with your knowledge. You literally say their names in capital letters with exclamation points. And then just say, how are you? And the amount of people who respond to me, who haven't responded to me in so long, it's insane. So that's a really, really good way to like, them to be like, oh, what's up? Like, you must have something to say to me, you know? So those are 2 big takeaways.
Really good. Thank you for sharing, Jill. And also really quick, when Kate says to share like what you heard, it's really helpful when you guys are speakers and people share like what you learned. It's like it helps me know like what's really going to work or what you're really going to take on or what was helpful that I shared, and not for me, but just so you know moving forward. That's a big part of why she probably asks, and also to hear the space you're coming from so we can clarify anything. But Jill told me that the other day at New Heights, the part about Shelby! Exclamation point. And I didn't even realize I did it. But that is actually really good because they either think something's wrong or, oh my God, I did something really good, or she's really excited right now. So it's like switching up the conversation, and it's almost also like checking your languaging, because would you talk to your friend like, hey friend, how are you? How was your water? How was your this? Like that can seem a little bit like contrived versus like acting like a friend, like a normal human. And also, just to clarify, when I say, I hope you guys know, like act like you care about them, I really do care about them. And I know that we do too, but people can really feel when you actually genuinely like want to help them out. So really come from that space too when you're following up and checking in with them. Anybody else?
So you guys are telling me you didn't get anything from that?
I did bad.
Damn,
I got you. I learned something. So setting follow-ups on Friday and being consistent with that so they know what to expect also holds them accountable too. So it's like, she's going to check up with me on Friday, like I got to do my stuff, so that like has that accountability piece with it when she knows like she's going to follow up on Friday. But also what I was trying to do with like my follow-ups is have that conversation of how are you, but also follow up. So I was having trouble with like getting everything that I wanted from the conversation. Like I want to follow up, but also I want to see how you're doing with life. So it kind of like got kind of messy. So following up on Friday, but also being able to just talk to them like normal on a Monday, but doing it regularly is definitely something that I'm going to start doing. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your feedback.
I want to add one thing really quickly. So obviously, yes, personal individual conversations, but we want to make sure that we are at the same time. If someone is asked, if you're in a personal conversation with someone one-on-one and they say, what do you think about this? Or what is a good snack idea for this? Always direct them back to your client chat. Because the livelihood of your client chat is literally a direct depiction of how excited your challengers and clients are. So the more we can direct them back, even if it's in a one-on-one conversation, but direct them back to the chat to ask their questions there. If they tell you something that was a huge win, say, oh my God, post it in the chat. I want to recognize you in there. Or if they find something out, a cool recipe to use with the shakes or something. Awesome. Oh my God, everyone in the chat would love this. Go post it in the chat. Like always be mindful of having the conversation and being personable, but leading them back to the chat and the group. One, you're teaching them coaching qualities right from there. Two, they're going to get even more recognition and feel even more love. And three, obviously they're adding to the energy of the chat. So everyone's on the up and up, everyone's getting added value, and it's not even necessarily always have to be directly from you.
So good. Anybody else? Fully agree with that too. It also just adds more and more energy to our chats when we're redirecting them back to that. It avoids the fizzle out of hype and energy when they get excited to post in the chat because they know you're going to respond like, good job, girlfriend. Anyone else?
Takeaway or questions, or you guys are all super clear and your follow-up is amazing and you're going to go do 1 million volume points because all of your people are going to reorder tomorrow.
Well, Mill Team it is.
Right. We flying.
All right, looking forward to the posts in the chat. All the new clients, all the reorders.
Anna, come off mute if you can, love. Said she has a takeaway. Are you there?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So a takeaway for me was about following up. We're all really busy. Obviously, we all have lives outside of Herbalife, but really just setting a time to follow up with our clients and reaching out with them, because I know that that's something that I get to work on, and so that's something that really just kind of hit for me. So just setting a time and making it known with your clients from the get-go that this is the time that I'm going to reach out to you and I'm going to see how you're doing and I'm going to follow up with you. And something that Matt and Alexa actually shared on one of the calls was that they're going to follow up in the chat. So getting your clients in the chat and making sure that they're in the chat, because if you're not in the chat, they're not going to be in the chat, but following up with them in the chat. That way they know that they can expect to see you in there, checking up on them. But yeah, just setting a set time for yourself to do it. Like you said, it really holds you accountable for one, but also getting them prepared to have that time to time block and make sure that they're responding to you.
Really good. Thank you, Anna, and appreciate and super present to your awareness of where you can be better. That's really awesome that you take that ownership and now you know and have the tools to do so. So I look forward to seeing your, the differences when you do make that time. And also, yes, and I can't believe I didn't even speak to this, but so glad you and Kate did. You guys sending them and even telling them you get to post your 2 shakes, your snacks, and your full dinner meal in the chat, and then really like doing it yourself. Oh, hello. Okay, sorry, I heard some things. But really taking it on and you posting too is going to give your people permission to do that as well. Or if you're not doing it, it gives your people permission not to do it too, not to post too. And then also, I think I can speak for all of our different client chats. Really, every single one of us as coaches, I think we really get to take on like as much as we can, whether you set an alarm on your phone, like eat food, set an alarm on your phone that says, check in the chat, check in the client chat. Welcome everybody's people like they're yours. Respond to everybody's people like they're yours. Add value to the chat like you would if you wanted your new client to be so successful and you really want to tell them this really exciting thing. Do it in the chat, because each of us needs all of us, and the more value and excitement we all add, the more people want to be in the chats, the more people will be in the chats, and the better all of our follow-up and growth will be as a team.
Here, can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
So as far as like, I know I'm speaking for a couple girls that I've been in combos with about follow-up and just like people not responding. So like, what does it look like when, like, I know you have like a really good follow-up system, but have you come across girls who just like don't answer, and then like what does that look like from there on out? Like, do you just keep messaging them or keep reaching out? Or, cause I don't know like what the limit is. I don't want to like herb vomit on them or like follow-up vomit on them and like just keep getting nowhere. But yeah, what's that look like for you?
Yeah, really good. And if it's like, if you haven't already done the thing, like you've sent a couple things and they're just not responding, I would say, first of all, if you haven't already tried the, hey girlfriend, how are you? How was your weekend thing? Definitely to try that first. If they don't respond again, then, and you kind of got to discern with the person, but then you could kind of leave it at that and someone else could speak and put your focus on new, or you could always try one more time. And this sometimes I'll say, like, if they don't respond to that, it's like a one last thing and say, hey girlfriend, so I know I haven't heard from you lately. I just want to check in with you, make sure everything's okay. See if there's anything I could have done better to support you. Just want to check in, want to make sure all is well. And I hope you know that I'm here for you no matter what. Almost every time they're like, thank you so much. Then they're like, I have had the worst, like they go on about all the stuff that's gone wrong. And it's really like showing them that you're taking the time to be like, hey, are you okay? Like a friend, like, are you all right? But then if they do not respond, and again, if that happens and then we keep running into the same problem where it's like 20 more things and they don't respond, then I would say focus on new. But oftentimes that helps. And like also, you guys, this is another reason why your social media is so key. Oh, Kira, can you? Lisa, I said, I can type it and send it to the chat. But your social media is going to do follow-up for you. And I'm learning this more and more by the day. When you guys are sharing on your story, you better believe your clients are the first ones coming to see what you're up to, especially if they are leads that came from your social media. That means they were watching your stuff. So if you stop posting, they know that. They might stop. You might even look and see if they've stopped adding as much value in the chats or responding. But also, my clients are like my best fans, followers. Like they'll message me, oh my God, what is this you're eating? And like the follow-up happens there. Or, oh my God, love that book, I'm gonna go buy it. So they're always watching that, and your social media will do a lot of the work for you. Also, I won't hear from my clients, and then they'll message me in response to a story saying, I just wanted to say thank you so much for always sharing your journey. I look forward to your posts. You keep me on track, your positivity. Thank you for bringing me into this community. Your positivity means everything. So not only is your social media and how consistently and the value you're adding, not only is it getting you new, it's keeping your current engaged. And they know that even if you're not texting them, you're doing the things. You're going to the gym. You just posted your sweaty selfie. That's why I post a sweaty selfie every day, because I'm forwarding it to my chat. But also the people who don't check the chat know I'm getting my workout in. They know I'm making my shake. They know I'm making my tea. So they know I'm actually doing the things that I say I'm doing too. So utilizing social media helps with all of the above. Does that answer help? Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One more thing to add to that too that I like doing, if they're not responding via text, I'll like, and if it's someone who I know who is like super on it and like what the heck out of nowhere, I'll make sure intentionally engage on their page and respond to their stories more than I usually do it anyways. Like, also turn all of your clients' post notifications on. So when your clients post, you get a notification on Instagram, and you can be the first person to like it and comment on it. Because the more engaged, it's not like, it doesn't make them feel, I don't know, guilty is the word, but like if they see you really interacting with them, they're like, man, she's really pouring into me. I need to like step it up. And if they don't, they don't. I'm not saying this is going to work for everyone, but it's just one more thing that you can use to like, you don't necessarily have to like, okay, I have to go comment like on 55 clients' posts. It's just like when it comes up, you have a notification to just do it really quickly. Or if they're in your story, like even if it's not Herbalife stuff, this is another thing. If your client's posting stories and you're only replying to the shakes they post, they notice that. So like if they're out with their friends and they look bomb, let them know they look bomb. If they're out with a glass of wine, say, cheers, girl. Like, this is the things where this is what Kira's talking about. We go coach mode, and I'm totally guilty of doing this. So I'm like, wait, what the heck? Like, she's having a glass of wine. Anyone else, I'd be like, yeah, cheers. Like, I have one too. So like, be human with your clients. Now, obviously you want to give them direction and show them the way. And if they follow you, you want to lead them to, their best self, but we're also human. We also like doing fun things with our friends or our boyfriends in our family. So really be interactive when you can and when you see that stuff with them towards that stuff too, because like Kira was saying with, the text follow-up, it's the same exact thing. And she does the same exact thing here. I know she does with her people on Instagram and social media. So just relating to them in all ways when it comes up. And if we don't know how to turn on post notifications, we can have a little diagram and circles sent to that chat by Kira as well. Thank you so much.
Also, really quick, because this is actually a big distinction. And this is where I say, like, discern for you based around what amount of time you have. We can all, before bed at night, take 10 minutes. We can all choose to get up 10 minutes earlier, even if we're really busy. But there's a difference, notice your difference between scrolling and liking and commenting for 3 hours versus intentionally setting aside some time and that's why post notifications are helpful. It literally comes to the top of your screen. Kira just posted a photo. Click, like, read, comment. But if you're going through and it's been 3 hours and you didn't get a new client or help any of your current clients, you're wasting your time when it comes to the business. And so really focus, like, am I being intentional here and am I building my business, or could I do a little bit less of this and more of something else?
Really, really great point. Okay, cool. It's already 9:13, but there's been so much value added to this call. So this is what I'm going to do. On a scale of 1 to 10, and being very honest, in the chat, scale of 1 to 10, how valuable, helpful was this call? And so go ahead and post that in this chat on the call. And then as you guys are doing that, go into this week. And if you're taking on some of the things, show us the results in the DAP chat of what you took on and the new results that you're getting. Because this way, Kira will know that where her coaching helped. And then we can make a very clear guideline for all of new distributors to follow certain things that have proven to work for multiple people, so we can give that to a brand new person coming into the business. So feedback, as much feedback as possible as you take certain things on, is going to serve all of us at a very high level. And then coming out of here, just to wrap it up really quick, you guys, obviously we know we only have how many days left in the month? 4 or 3? 4? I'm seeing both numbers.
3 plus tonight.
3 plus tonight. So we'll say 3.1 because, we don't have that many hours left. 3, we'll say 3. 3 days left in the month. Now, some of us are crushing it this month and we're way beyond our goals. Some of us, we set a goal for ourselves and we're way behind. Some of us, we're right on track. Wherever you're at, just play all out in these next few days. Because and I know you guys know this, we've had this conversation before, but November is a brand new month and it's set up based off of how you play in these next 3 days. So it's like, regardless of how October has went for you, set yourself up very powerfully in November to freaking crush it by what you do tomorrow and the 2 days after. Also, we just launched a new challenge. How intentional can you be on your story, and how how consistent can you be on your story? How consistent can you be in your page? How consistent can you be in your client chat with? And this is something that I talk to myself, literally with myself today, is like, girlfriend, you need to like post everything that you're doing in your client chat. Like if you go to the bathroom, this is what Jerry said, who created Team Beauty, who we got it from for Hustle and Heart, the lady who basically taught us how to do Hustle and Heart. If you go to the bathroom, post it in your client chat. Let them know that the probiotic is working. Like seriously, this is how, like, to the T she's posting in there because of how engaged all of her people then are, and you don't quit when you're engaged. So really that was a conversation with myself today, is like stepping it up in that way. And if whatever way that is for you, acknowledge it. Don't just stare at it and get down about it. Acknowledge it and then just do better. Like we're having a follow-up conversation now. No problem, girlfriend. You got this. Acknowledge it and let's do better. In whatever way that gets to be for you. We all have our different things. Really, I'm talking to myself and you guys are just here. So love you guys all so much. We have a lot of goals we're going for this EOM, so let's freaking crush it. If you guys can post your goals for end of month, the next 3 days, realistic, like yes, make them big, make them uncomfortable, but be very real with yourself. What are you going to do in the next 3 days? Post that in the DAP chat and let's hold each other accountable in closing out these next 3 days of October, what the heck, as we head into November. Love you guys all so much. Let's come off mute, say goodbye and good night. Super amazing call. Kira, thank you for everything. Thank you for everyone who shared. Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Good night, babe.